Welcome to Corner of Bexley. This is Clay with you.
And Sarah's here.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. We're having a little late start, but it's Labor Day weekend and we're enjoying ourselves.
Yes, happy September, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and listening.
You can catch us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. Check our YouTube channel and like and follow us on Instagram. Corner of Bexley.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off with the most anticipated start. Of course, college football is officially back.
Yes.
It started on Thursday with, of course, the Colorado game, which Colorado ended up pulling out the win against, North Dakota?
Yeah, North Dakota State, I think it was.
Yes.
The Bison.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were like, it's the Buffalo versus the Bison.
Yes.
And they're like, this is a Buffalo and this is a Bison.
Yes, it was very, if you needed education on your mammals, land mammals, they definitely made sure to let you know the difference between a buffalo and a bison.
Yep. Oh, Buckeyes are back. Everybody in Columbus going wild, I bet.
Yes, Buckeyes had a big win over Akron. They looked a little sluggish, but it's the first game of the season with a new quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, all the teams, you got to give all teams a little bit
Look
of
at Michigan.
grace.
They had a sluggish start against Fresno State.
Right. So happy about that. Happy to see our Buckeyes get a big win.
Mm-hmm.
You had the big game of Miami versus Florida.
They're back. Calling it now. National champs, Miami.
That's
My pick is in.
doing a lot. We're doing a lot.
The bet is in. It's solidified. We'll see.
The fix
Don't
is
let me
in,
down,
is what he meant
Miami.
to say.
Go you.
So big win over Florida. And then, we had Georgia and Clemson. Big, humongous win for Georgia over Clemson.
I mean, that game kind of took a little bit to start up because it was kind of the first few series was back and forth. And it was like, oh, and then all of a sudden Georgia just started rolling. It was like, oh, sorry, Clemson.
It was definitely a defensive struggle there.
You got to sell that stock.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not the team that we saw, whooping up on Alabama and winning the national championship. And I've heard people talk about, their head coach, Dabo Swinney, how he's very anti-transfer portal, meaning like he doesn't really want his players going in it, but he also, as a coach, doesn't want to go in and look at any of the players that are in there. And as I think I have said in the past about the transfer portal, it is very controversial, but if you can use it to your benefit, use it to your benefit. Don't just let players sit out there and sit in there that could possibly want to come and play and contribute to your school, but you're so like, this is the hill I'm going to die on, which means this is the hill I'm going to get fired on too.
Right. Failure to adapt.
Right. So hopefully
New game.
Let me see. Who does Clemson play next? They're definitely dropping from that 14th spot. Oh, God, they play App State next. They play Appalachian State next.
No.
This is not a drill. The upset is, listen, Appalachian State upsets teams. That's what they do. They could care less on how their actual season is going. And they won their last game. They're 1-0. They're definitely going to, I could see them pulling off the
It'd be a
upset.
3-point game.
Yes. Like, they're built for this. So, I guess we'll see what happens.
It just takes me back to that Michigan game when they,
God.
oh, man. And it was so funny. They were all, like, my buddies from school, like, we're talking, oh, Michigan's just got this easy game against App State, App who, App no one. And then the next day, like, just was at ESPN, the top 10, all this, it just going wild. And it was just shock. Like,
I feel like that Michigan game made them the school that they were, because anytime like that play lives forever in lore. It's like the Doug Flutie Hail Mary.
Yeah.
It's or the what was it? The Auburn running it back from the end zone. Like it's
The Boise State,
yes.
Oklahoma flea flicker play or
It's-
whatever. Or,
it's
you know?
up there. Like it's so far up there. And they literally play it. Don't let a team get upset. They will play that clip every time. Just
Damn.
cause.
Damn.
So best of luck to Clemson next week.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
What we had
We also had some other teams in Ohio.
yes.
BG getting the win, Toledo getting the win, and then for Ohio going against the former Buckeye.
Yeah, I saw the head coach of Syracuse say that he might owe Ryan Day a bottle of champagne for sending him their way. So,
Hey.
I mean, I've said it. I said before. I saw on, I think it was Instagram or maybe it was TikTok, them saying like fans of Syracuse saying like, listen, 9-4 for or 8-5 for, Ohio State is a terrible season, but that's good for us, for football because they're a basketball school. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I get it. Like going to these big schools and not delivering how the fans feel like you should be delivering will cause you strife.
Yeah, and calls you male pattern baldness.
Yes, also that.
Stress eating.
Yes.
Oh man, but damn, LSU Kelly, Chip Kelly, or Brian Kelly?
It's Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly, man, looking good.
I get my chips, my Kellys mixed up.
Yeah.
LSU. I mean, USC pulling off the big win against LSU.
Looking good for the Big Ten with that,
Yes.
Good Big Ten just grabbing talent. Oregon, Washington.
Yes, looking good for our conference, making us look strong. I mean, obviously you had Michigan winning the national championship last year. Ohio State has won the national championship. That's it. Like Big Ten, everybody we just don't. We're a different kind of school. We're a different kind of conference with different kind of schools. So it'll be nice to have USC. I know UCLA lost. So
They won.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they won by 3.
Oh, well, good for them.
But they were getting beat, though.
They were getting beat.
Yeah, it was 16-13.
So good.
Against Hawaii.
Yikes.
Yo, but if I ever had a dream school, I think Hawaii would be the.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I guess when I played high school ball, it's like, oh man, if I could get it, I'd be like Hawaii would be great,
Right. It's a team that nobody ever really thinks about.
Yeah.
But
watching them come out on the field. Oh man, that's.
Oh, did they do the haka?
Yeah, they had the Warriors there.
Yeah, I saw
and he kind of left let him out there, and I was like, damn man, that was just so
is
badass.
He in the bloodline?
Is he?
Is he? Are you?
Are you
in the bloodline, sir? I mean, I know that's very stereotypical because every time I see Tula Tungavailoa, I'm like, are you in the bloodline also, sir? Or maybe you're just, you haven't found out yet, but you probably are. So, but yeah, I always thought God, how beautiful it would be to play,
Mm-hmm.
in Hawaii. But,
Yeah, it'd be nice to go to a Hawaii game.
Yeah.
Oof.
Inexpensive, probably.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd be just the biggest fan. I would just woo paint myself half, green and then half white. Yeah.
Lord.
And a black stripe down the middle, and just
go all out. So yeah, that week 1 of college football is in the books. So week 2, Ohio State plays Western Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, next week, Western Michigan.
Yeah, it's a night game. I don't know why it's a night game, but whatever. We got Texas versus Michigan.
Yeah, that's going to be an
Saturday.
interesting
It's
game.
going to be big game.
I think, I think Michigan could get blown out on that.
I mean, I get like they pretty much lost like everybody.
Yeah.
But the fact that they won the national championship last year and they're ranked 9th and Texas is ranked 4th kind of shows you how people feel about Big Ten schools. Like, I feel like they should probably be ranked higher, but 'tis each his own. Let's see what else we got here.
Bowling Green, Penn State.
Yeah.
And then Toledo against Massachusetts. Ohio versus South Alabama.
Ooh.
Let's go the Ohio teams.
Yeah. So shout out to all the Ohio teams. Hopefully you all get the
Ohio
big
schools get the
dub.
wins.
Colorado plays Nebraska.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
That's a night game also. So obviously more to come since, college football is back. Will be, that football will take up most of our Saturdays and Sundays. We'll still, obviously mention the WWE because, Bash at Berlin was this weekend.
Yeah.
I kind of watched a little
Here
snippets here and there. Cody got the big win over Kevin Owens. Everybody's waiting for Kevin Owens to turn heel. Cody is quote unquote possibly injured his knee.
Oh, really?
So we'll see what happens with that. Solo called his shot and was basically like, I don't care who has the championship, I'm coming after them, which I feel like it's probably going to get derailed, but we'll
Roman's
see.
just going to put a mollywhopping on him.
Right. Maybe Roman will just keep coming back, costing Solo the championship.
Just like, wah, wah.
Right. We had the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Dom and Liv and the rest of the Judgment Day. The Terror Twins were triumphant. Rhea with the deep pin. I was like, whoa, man.
Yo, like her pins are just wild.
They
because
are.
It's just so.
It's so. I was like, wow. Whoa. Whoa.
Fucking folding her up like a fucking folding chair.
Right. So congratulations to them because I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
Who else? We got new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Jade and Bianca are now 2-time Tag Team Champs. They got
them back
from the girls from Scotland because I can never remember their names or the order of their names. But I also like them too. But I'm happy for Jade and Bianca. I feel like Jade's probably not 100% ready to step out on her own. But I will also be curious, like, I'm hoping the WWE does what is rumored to be happening and bring in a Intercontinental Championship and a United States Championship for the women's division.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they've got a lot of talent, but not enough belts to put on talent.
Yeah.
And same with NXT has a lot of talent, but not enough belts. So some people are going to have to start transitioning out of NXT. And it's like, who do we put all these belts on? I feel like introducing 2 new belts would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? We had in the
Orton.
strap match, which sounds very sexual, but it's not.
Strap up.
We had CM Punk defeating and getting his bracelet back from Drew McIntyre. It was entertaining at best. Punk called his shots, kind of it sounded like he was coming for Gunther and the heavyweight championship, which I feel like Drew is not going to let that happen. You cost Drew, 4 times or 3 times? Drew is going to just keep at you until, I don't know, Bad Blood when you guys have a cage match or something like that.
You guys just settle it.
Yeah.
So one of you guys is just out.
And then to conclude, we had Gunther, the ring general, versus the Viper, Randy Orton. I think it ended in submission, I believe. Um, yeah, I mean, I what I watched of the match, I thought it was really good. I felt like it was very evenly, like they're both very big guys, so it was very evenly matched. But it was interesting that they chose the whole submission route, which I didn't think Gunther was losing the title, even
Yeah.
if it was Randy Orton. I get Randy Orton is a legend, and maybe they want to give him a one more title run. Maybe they're waiting to set this up, this heel turn plot on Cody, because him and Cody are best friends. Well, they're not best friends, but they're like really, really, really good friends.
They're good work associates.
Right. So, I mean,
They're work pals.
it kind of, which Randy said he doesn't have any other friends outside of wrestling, so it makes me feel like him and Cody are probably pretty tight. Um, so yeah, we'll see, what happens, how this goes. Obviously, Raw is tonight.
Yep.
I think the next PLE is Bad Blood, I believe, in October, in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. I think that's the next one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I've been watching
What'd you say? Bad Blood.
Bad Blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we'll see what I've
Halloween
been tuning.
Havoc for
Yeah.
NXT.
Yeah, I've been tuning into NXT just because the show is a little, I don't know. I don't want to say there's not as many moving parts in NXT, so it's easy to kind of like get grasp, like miss a few and then get back in it.
Oh, yeah.
So No Mercy was last night. It was entertaining. But yeah, I kind of was like, oh, Halloween Havoc's in Hershey, Pennsylvania in October. That might be, fun to go to. So we'll see what happens. But
Oh yeah.
lots of sports. NFL is back
Next week.
That should be exciting. That basically takes up Saturdays and Sundays.
And Thursdays and
Yep,
Mondays.
and Thursdays and Mondays. And if a game gets pushed or the game isn't as, I don't know, interesting as they thought they were going to be, like what they did to the Jets last year when old Wingding McGee tore his Achilles. They basically were like, oh, the Jets are going to suck this year, so now we got all those games we were going to have the Jets featured. We got to push them. So it is what it is. So looking forward to that.
Jets were going to make a run.
Making a run.
You stole it, Carmichael. They stole it. It was the day. It was the day. Sorry, sir. We don't have turnovers.
Before we stop talking about sports, we are big, we're a big sports household, and we would like to extend our prayers and support to not only the Columbus Blue Jackets, but all of the NHL, one of the players for the Blue Jackets tragically passed away this weekend with his brother on the eve of their sister's wedding. They were hit by a drunk driver, so we as Ohioans, as people that support sports, as people that have been to Columbus Blue Jackets games, want to give our condolences to the family at this terrible time. Hopefully they see all of the love and support, and not just the famous people coming out and sending their prayers, but the locals in both here, and I think he might have played in Canada at one point in time, and I know like they went to school in Boston College, and I saw the Eagles put out something because they were Eagles fans, or maybe it was Jalen Hurts that put something out. So RIP to them, condolences to the family. So now like we said, it's September. It's September 2nd. Summer is coming to a close, even though it'll hopefully still be relatively warm, like until December. So we thought that we would talk about, since we talked about some experiences we had at Cedar Point, that we would go a little more in depth, talk about, parks, different parks we've been to. Obviously Cedar Point is like the creme de la creme for Ohio, and a lot of other places. I mean, Cedar Point is, I've seen people or been places, and when I say, "Oh, I'm from Ohio," the first thing they say, like, "Oh, like, so, like, do you like live near Cedar Point? Cedar Point's amazing."
You go to Cedar Point?
Have you been to Cedar Point?
You been there? You go there?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's America's roller coaster. It's been featured, in lots of competitions. I think at one point it had won like the best park 16 years in a row.
Wow. But always like breaking records with like the fastest, tallest, or something, aren't they?
Yeah, best. It from 1997 to 2013, it was voted best amusement park in the world.
Huh. The world.
16 consecutive years. Like.
Yeah. Dang. I wonder what it was, like what the world has to offer, like what they're
right. Because I see some of the, and I think Cedar Point marries like the small town like amusement park and a big amusement park together very well. Like, you have, which I don't even know. I haven't been to Cedar Point since I graduated from high school.
Oh, really? I was there 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember when you went. I think you got sunburnt because you didn't put on sunscreen like I asked you to. But it had the classic cars and all the little rides, Johnny Rockets, where they sing and dance randomly in the middle of the day, and my favorite ride, which doesn't exist anymore, Disaster Transport, which was the indoor ride, when it would be,
I never rode that one. I never got to ride that ride.
Loved that ride. Partially because when it's 90 degrees outside with like...
Oh, I bet.
90% humidity because you're right on the water, you could go... It was an indoor ride, so you go in and the air conditioning would be on, and you wouldn't even mind standing in a little bit of a line because you're inside.
Yeah.
And it actually was a really good ride, but it definitely like R.I.P. because I miss it so much. But they tore it down, of course. That's gone. What is it? The Twisted. What was it? Twisted Sister? I feel like that's not what it was.
No, I don't think that's the name. The Twisted
I know that
Sister.
that was a band, but
the Twisty Rolls? No.
God,
but it was green, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like green. It was yellow and green. It was like right on the coastline. Yeah. I know they got rid of that.
Oh man, I got a story about that one.
Oh god.
Oh man, it was like back when was
the Wicked Twister.
Oh, that's what it was, the Wicked Twister. Yeah, I got kicked off that ride.
Did you?
Yeah, they're like, you're too fat.
Oh no!
This Russian lady, Eastern Europe lady, is like, yeah, sir, you're too fat. It was when I was 300 pounds. Like, yeah.
Dang, that's rough.
So back when I was 300 and trying to ride the rides, the lady's like, that's what motivated me to lose the weight.
Yes. That will definitely, like...
Yeah, that's what motivated me, was this lady saying, you're too fat, we can't close it.
I've seen
and people... to get off and walk across everybody and just see them looking and staring.
Like, fat boy!
Yeah, just moo, moo, and I'm just like... and they're like, sorry, and the friends I'm with are like, sorry, man, maybe you'll be alright to ride the next one.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God that was the only one that was, like, an issue.
I've seen that happen to people, and I'm just like, man,
it's embarrassing.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like a walk of shame.
Yeah.
Just walking across the platform and just getting stared at.
You're too big. You're too big to ride the rides.
Get off here, fat boy. You're holding us up. Come on, cow. Damn it.
Oh Oh man.
Go drink another milkshake.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was a little self-esteem of me fucking died that day.
Right. That's so terrible.
Oh my god.
So
Life goes on.
You have Millennium Force, which is like Let me just say this off jump. I hate roller coasters. I've kind of always hated them. I do not like them, but I'm no punk. Okay, so if we're now that I'm an adult though, like in almost my mid-30s, I can be like, no, I'm not getting on that. But like when I was like in my teens and my early 20s, it was like, shit. Well, I guess I'm going to get on this ride because I don't want to look like a pussy. So I've ridden the Millennium Force. Now, I did never ride
the Top
Thrill Dragster.
Little pussy going to get on this ride and ride it.
Because every time I tried to ride the Top Thrill Dragster, it would always
I've never been on it.
It would get closed down, and I was like, this is divine intervention.
The water, something, the wind.
I was there the one year where shrapnel came off the ride and hit some like bystanders. Not the one that happened like recently where like it was like,
oh yeah,
yeah. I actually read up on that because I remember when they talked about that time on TV and they made it sound like it was like a little piece or like a little something, and then people were talking about it, they were like, oh no, it was like a big piece of metal, and she's definitely, like, the person that it hit is going to probably have some kind of brain injury for the rest of their life. Oh, wow. And I was like, oh wow. But yeah, no, one year I was there, it got real windy, and they were like, nope, closing it down. And then another year I got there, it randomly started raining, so they were like, nope, shutting it down. And then the last time I was there and I tried to ride it, like, we were on our way there, and somebody was like, yeah, they shut down the ride, some stuff came off the ride, da-da-da. And I was like, yep, this is divine intervention, basically telling me, like, bitch, don't you get your ass on the
final destination.
Right. Like, stop it. It's not meant for you to get on it. So, I know, like, they've had so many issues with it, like, they tried to revamp it, and... Well,
they shut it down this year.
Yeah, well, they shut it down last year.
Well, I mean, like and they reopened it, and then they re-shut it down.
Yeah, so my thing is, like, so I've never ridden King Ka in, I think it's at Six Flags Great Adventure, in, I want to say, like, New Jersey. It's the ride that surpassed the Top Thrill Dragster. Why don't you do something like that? Like, put, like, a hill in there, break this shit up a little bit, because whatever you guys are doing right now ain't working. So, but you
gotta think, like, there's space for that. For
right.
For Cedar Point, like, their space is being out there on that little island or a little plot of land. Because that's why I was, like, always scared driving across that bridge. I was like, man,
things could go terribly wrong.
Or we could be in this water. Like, I guess having that fear of bridges really kicks in. You don't think you have it until you go across
you go across a bridge,
and you're like, man, like,
or until you go under the tunnel that takes you to Virginia.
Claustrophobia.
That takes you to Virginia Beach, and you realize that you're going under the ocean.
Yeah.
To get to Virginia Beach. Listen, it's chaos in itself. I'm trying to think what other the Sky something bridge that's in Florida is the one we drove over going to Chicago. I was like, where the fuck did this bridge come from? I didn't nobody told me that this was gonna be happening.
Yeah.
So
going to Charleston, like through the Appalachians.
Yes, through the mountains. That's always rough. It's boring, but it's rough, and you got to pay attention because you never know what's going to happen.
Up and down.
It just starts raining randomly, and then all of a sudden everything's bad.
Mudslides.
So Cedar Point.
You ever go to Kings Mill or Kings Mill?
Kings Mill. Yes, I've been to Kings Mill, the golf course. You mean Kings Island?
Yeah, Kings Island.
No, not really.
I only went there one time as a kid, and it was when they came out with the Son of the Beast and Riding the Beast
Oh,
and all
okay,
that.
okay.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, it
So,
was never a place we
but
ever really
yeah, what
went.
is it? Six Flags and Cedar Point are now combined.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I've ever been to a Six Flags park either.
oh, you didn't go to the SeaWorld Six Flags up there in Cleveland area? Yeah,
I mean, I've been to SeaWorld. It was a terrible experience. I don't recommend people going to
free
it.
the whales, people.
Like it
Free
just,
them.
we went.
Watch Blackfish.
We were in Texas, and we went, and I was like, "This is." I also sidebar. I don't really like the zoo either. I'm not a big zoo person. I just
We need to liberate.
yeah, that's how I
Liberate
feel
the
about it. I'm
animals.
like, is this just animal gel? Like
Animal prison. They're just doing life.
I get like there's conservation and they help like save and conserve a lot of animals, but like I'm always like, so you think the animal really picked to be here in Columbus, Ohio? Like this was their destination of choice if they were filling out their little spreadsheet that had like fruit that said this is where I want to go. That Ohio was top of the list. So I've never been a big zoo person. I would always try to scam my way out of like going to the zoo part of Columbus Zoo when my parents would take me, and I would be like, "Well, can we just go to at that time Wyandotte Lake?" And my mom would be like, "Well, you didn't bring a bathing suit." And I'd be like, "Joke's on you! I put it on under my clothes before we left."
Really? No. Oh,
Yes.
that's nice.
That's what I would do.
Well played.
Yes, I would put my swimming suit on under my clothes, and then when we got to the park, I would then put the pressure on, like, and then my mom would be like, "Well," because I took swimming lessons, so I could swim.
Yeah.
And I would be like, "Well, okay, that's fine." So then we would always end up at Wyandotte Lake.
Wyandotte Lake. Make sure you bring your Coke can where you can get a couple bucks off.
Right.
That was Mom would do that. Be like, "Hey, Coke's doing the thing, so we can
the cheat code."
Yep, so we can go for discount." But yeah, we went to a couple. I've been to a lot of amusement parks, if I think about it. Because, like I said, I've been to the Six Flags up there in the Cleveland area, or I don't know exactly where it was, but that was always part because it was part of a lake, and part of it was Six Flags, and then the other part was SeaWorld, and then you could ferry across to go.
Is that like Lake Geneva?
Maybe.
I never went to that either.
So, went there a couple times, and I think it was one of the Busch Gardens in Carolina, or
So I've been to, that's what I was looking up now. I've been to the Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay. I think that's the one that's like African. Yeah, it's African themed. I liked it. It was in the evening when we went. It wasn't too terribly bad. I know. Let's see. There's Busch Gardens, Tampa. And then I know there's one in Williamsburg. That's like the European countries. I've never been to that one, but I've always kind of been curious about it.
Oh, yeah?
But I've heard not great things about it, so I'm like, man. Yeah, it's in Williamsburg, Virginia. So, and then I thought that there was another Busch Gardens, but I don't want to go to the website. I just want to look it up on Wikipedia.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it was Coral Winds was the one I was at. In, Carolina.
Yeah, that's the one where Milli Vanilli lip synced at.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I was with.
Girl, you know it's girl, you know it's girl, you know it's girl. You know. Like,
how many times are you gonna say this word?
Right, like,
oh my god,
like,
yeah,
poor Milli Vanilli. But anyway, yeah, that's where like MTV had some like Beach Bash or something. It wasn't like spring break, but it was something they had, and they decided like, oh, we're gonna perform live. Like,
Mistake.
What could go wrong? I don't know.
Maybe check our equipment before you get on there and do this lip sync.
Gonna skip. That's what's gonna happen. So, I've always wanted to go there. I think on a previous episode I've said I've always wanted to go to Knoxbury Farm.
Yeah, that's the one I've been to too.
Do they serve like jams?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. I was there and I was just boozing.
Oh.
Boozing and riding roller coasters.
Go there.
Roller coasters.
I believe we both have been to Disney.
Yeah, Disney. But I don't remember that. That was like, sheesh, probably when they had. Do they still have like the Peter Pan ride? Where you like sit in it, the little thing, and they take you around indoors. Yeah, that was when I went.
I don't think they have that anymore. Yeah. I have been
before they like did the major upgrades. They were like doing the kingdom part.
Yeah, I've been to Disney.
It's not a kingdom. It's not a zoo.
Right. I've been to Disney World, which is in Florida, twice.
Yeah.
And I've been to Disneyland, which is in
Never
California,
been there.
Twice. I prefer Disneyland in California.
What's wild is like I stationed out there. Didn't go one time.
Once,
totally regret it. Cause it's like,
we're gonna go though. Don't
Halloween would have been
everybody.
Awesome.
Oh my god, that's when. So I went a few years ago. It's probably been about 6 years now. And we went in October, and they had all their. Because I've been to Disney World during Christmas time, which is it's also absolutely beautiful. They have all like, it's a little bit of a juxtaposition because it's like you have all these wreaths and it's very Christmassy feeling, but there's no snow and it's not cold because it's Florida.
Florida.
But I personally just prefer Disney. Maybe it's because I went to Disneyland first when I was about 6 or 7. My aunt and uncle were stationed out in Anaheim. They were both in the Navy. They were stationed out in Anaheim for summer break. My grandparents were going out there. I, of course, begged, can I go? My parents were like, if your grandparents say it's okay. My grandparents like, sure, she can go. So it was my grandparents and then me and then my other cousin, Ashley. Her and I went on all of the road trips together. We were like, we were opposites a little, but we were both kind of tomboys, so it worked. But every kind of like road trip that my grandparents were going on, it was always me and her. We went out to California for, what felt like a month. Huh. And we went to Disney, and it was everything I thought it was when I was a little girl. And it was great, and I loved it. And then I think that's maybe why I prefer Disneyland to Disney World, because it was my first, that was my first plane ride.
Yeah.
That was all across the country. So that's also why I enjoy California so much, because it was like, my first, yes. When we went to Vegas, like a few years ago, and we had a layover in LA, and I remember,
you're like, we can just start a new life here.
I was thinking like, man, I really don't want to get on the plane. I could just stay. Like, I love going to California.
Just figure it out.
But Disney, obviously, the most magical place on earth.
Magic.
Expensive, but like they've got all the like
people go into debt to go there.
Yes, but as of right now, I just want to go and either eat and drink my way through, because now, like, I tell people all the time, if you never went as a child, that's fine. Go as an adult. Don't take your kids yet. Also, don't take your kids if they're too young, because they're not going to remember shit.
They're not going to enjoy it.
Like, I was about 6 or 7, and I remember meeting Chip and Dale. I remember I couldn't go on the Indiana Jones ride because I wasn't tall enough yet. Like, that was the first time I had a churro, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I loved it. It was great. I went as a teenager, and it was great. I've been as an adult, and it was great. It's just, I think also being from a state that has a very popular amusement park, you learn when to go to amusement parks, like what time of year, what time of the week, what time of the day. So going to some place when we went a few years ago, it was a random Wednesday. We got up early. Me and my other best friend Jessica were sitting on the couch, like, and she had never been. And she was like, should we go to Disney? And I was like, I don't know. We sat there for like 10 minutes, and I was like, so we're going to Disney. We bought tickets right then and there, got in the car. We were at Newport Beach. It was probably like a 30-40 minute drive. Got to the park. It was early. It was a Wednesday. There was literally nobody there. We rode every single ride. Stayed
Zero
until
waits.
Stayed until it
Perfect.
closed. Couldn't figure out if we were in the park or out of the park. And then it was a great time. It was a blast. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I recommend like if you've never been to Disney, go to Disney. And then like once your kids are a good age, go, because also, like Clayton said, that shit is expensive.
Yeah. Like I said, people go into debt. That's what they were talking about on the reports and TikToks. Those people go into thousands of dollars to take their kids to Disney. So.
Right. Universal Studios.
Yeah.
I've been to the one in Florida. It was fun though. It was great. I loved it. I would go back there. If you like riding rides, it's definitely like a place where you want to go. So I know that there's a Universal Studios in California, but I've never been to that one.
I've never been to that one either. So, but the one that I wanted to go to as a kid was Nickelodeon.
Yes. It is.
Oh, watching, like, because at the end of the episode, they would always show, like, the Nickelodeon building.
Yes.
And then it would be, like, the little green slime and all that. Like, the closest I ever got, I think, was when we went to, I don't know if it was Kings Island that had, like, the partnership with Nickelodeon. But they ended up something where one of these theme parks, that it was Nickelodeon and the Rugrats were there, like the giant, like instead of like Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck, it was like Chucky, the Phil and Lil, Angelica, Reptar.
Yeah, I've been to.
And then they picked my sister, and she got slimed, and I was just like, son of a bitch.
That was supposed to be me.
It was supposed to be me. I was supposed to get picked.
Yeah, so Universal is like, I don't know, it like, I remember we rode the Spider-Man ride, and it's in 3D, and it was fucking scary because it was 3D rides. It's like seeing a movie in 3D. Like, this probably is not a good idea. Like, and you go in, you put these goggles on, and you get in this little, like, contraption, and everything is, like, in your face, and you fall off a building, and, like, they do the stuff where they, like, mist you in the face with water.
Oh, so you mean that's 4D?
I don't know.
That's what...
It said 3D when we were at the park.
Oh. Well, I know Cedar Point, they would have that thing where you would go in and watch the movie, and it would be like the extreme, and shake the chairs and shoot. Like, if something would fall and hit you. Like, they had this peanut scene, and like these little things would drop and hit you on the head.
Huh.
And then you would get mist in the face.
Interesting.
So that's why I was like, I don't know if that's the 4D.
I don't know, because I also rode a Star Wars ride before they got big Star
Yeah.
Wars, and it was in 3D.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
and it's like the characters that were in it was, the Naked Gun guy, Leslie. Leslie was in it. He was the pirate, and then I want to say Haley Joe Osment.
Oh.
Yeah, back when he was a kid or whatever. Maybe it was him. I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. So, but yeah, and every time we would go there, we'd be like, "Oh, we gotta go watch this movie," and I see this movie probably like 3 times, 4 times already. But it would just go sit in there, watch, because it would be like cool off room,
right?
Because you get in there and you just the AC, and you're just like, thank
I can
God.
sit down. I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
Enjoy this.
So, I mean, obviously our goal is to, well, I don't know if it's our goal. It's mine, because I love going to Disney, and I would love to go to
Oh, yeah, I would love to go to
Disneyland.
Disney, especially with the Star Wars, maybe
Yes.
build a lightsaber.
Yes. So that's hopefully in our future.
Yeah. So, you want to tell them
What are we telling them?
about your slushy machine?
So it's September, and everybody knows my birthday is coming up. If you didn't know, it's coming up. It's on the 20th.
Yay!
And Clayton ordered me the Ninja Slushie.
Yes, the Ninja Slushy machine.
So
They're back in, everybody. So
right,
just so you know, they're in.
They were sold out.
Yeah.
For a while. So I will definitely, as soon as
We'll do a review video.
We'll do a review video, and we will be talking about it on
Put
the
it on
podcast,
their Instagram
because I
and YouTube.
Can't wait for everybody to see my Ninja Slushie. I'm so excited.
Coffee slushy.
Thank you.
Mountain Dew slushy.
I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Thanks, honey. I appreciate it.
Margaritas.
It was very expensive.
Pina coladas.
And I was like, this is the same thing I used to do to my parents. It's the only thing I want.
It's the only thing I want for my birthday, and it could be my Christmas gift. But next year,
that's how I got
Valentine's gift too. It's all I want.
That's how I got the Barbie Jeep when I was a little girl, and I was like the only girl on the block that had one. It was like the first generation that came out.
Looking good in that Jeep.
Yep, I had my glasses, had my little boom box, and my little stuffed animal that I would drive, and I would try to race cars up the block, even though that thing didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, that thing could go. But,
oh man, yeah, I had one of the 4-wheeler ones.
Yeah,
and it was so funny because, like, at one point you just get too big for it, and it's like, come on, man, come on, buddy, look, and it's just a little piece of you just dies.
It's just like,
man, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. I can't ride it.
So when was that? This past week? Was it last week?
Yeah, last week.
Last week was International Dog Day.
International Dog Day.
As most of you guys know, we have a little pooch.
We are a Frenchie dog owners.
Yes, his name is Louie. He is a Frenchie.
Sweet Lou and the crew, if you want to check him out.
He's 1 year old. He's bad.
Him's a thief.
Yes.
Him's got swatting issues.
Yes.
Swat.
So, we thought we would talk about our experience having not just a dog, but I don't know if you'd say Louis is a designer breed, because he's not necessarily, but I think you learn a lot of things when you get dogs.
He's a purebred.
Yes, that you don't.
He's got the papers. Comes from a champion bloodline.
That you don't
That's the stuff they try to sell you on.
Yes, before you.
It's
get
just
a
like,
dog,
take my money.
Louis came with his own set of little issues.
Yep.
He's brachycephalic, which, most brachycephalic dogs, pugs, English bulldogs, they have the pushed-in nose, so he did have to have, his nares
opened up.
Yeah.
And he was born with elongated palate, so they had to go in and cut some of that out in the back of his throat.
Yeah. Luckily,
so it was covered.
we did. I know people feel ways about pet stores. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand. I understand that people would rather you rescue a dog and give maybe a dog that was in a poor home a better home. And I don't disagree with that. We had kind of come off of some bad news that we maybe will discuss at a later date.
Just going through a hard time at that time.
And we got, out of the house, and we were, went to lunch and decided to stop at the pet store, and there he was in his little cage sleeping, and
little bug eyes, floppy ear, just looking at. Yeah,
he had one floppy ear. He had he still has a wandering eye. Think Steve Buscemi,
oh my gosh,
it was that. But he was so sweet, and we asked to hold him, and we cuddled him. And Clayton wanted to do the rational thing, which was put him back and think about it. But I had seen another family come in and see us get him, and they were waiting to get to snuggle with him next.
They wanted to nab him, and we weren't going to let it happen.
And they had kids, and I was like, if we put this dog back, somebody is going to buy this dog. So
we're never going to see him again.
Right. So
it's now or never, honey. You got to pull the trigger.
We already had the name Louie picked out. So it just we got him. He was adorable. He grew into his face and his lazy eye. His ear perked up.
His little patellis are doing better.
Yes, he thrived. So
he just got little tummy issues.
But all of his surgery was covered under warranty. Uh-huh. So I guess that is the plus.
That surgery was like $5,000. So
yeah, I guess that is a plus to getting a dog from a pet store. Is there are a lot of things that
you can't beat a warranty at the end of the day.
Yeah, we can't. We took him in. He got his. We wanted to get it done earlier, but they were like, we want to wait until he's 1, just in case things grow, and we don't want to have to do this twice. So we waited. We scheduled his surgery. He went in. They did the stuff. We brought him home. He did great. He's still. I mean, it doesn't fix everything. He still snorts. He still it wheezes a little bit and gets tired, and coughs randomly, or coughs hard and throws up. But we couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, obviously we want to get another dog just so he has a little friend, preferably another Frenchie, probably a female Frenchie. I don't know if we're gonna breed. That's another expense.
That's with the whole process of having to do the artificial insemination.
Yes.
And the C-section, I think.
So
it's too risky
but
for us.
At this time, but we also know that we like to.
But if you're interested in some of that Louis goo, we would be interested to talk about that. We're wheeling the deal on that, though.
But if we know we like to travel and do things,
so Louis is gonna start paying for these travels.
So and we're still we don't know if we can we don't know if we can travel for him, because I know when we went for our wedding, there was a girl in the airport, and she had her little Frenchie in his little.
And then
thing.
There was people there that at the hotel with the stroller pushing their dog.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's something that we could think about. Maybe taking Louis.
I'd just be so nervous him being having to be in that bag under the seat or down on our feet for so long. He would lose his shit. Yeah, he would have to be like, here, buddy, chloroform.
Right. No,
just go to sleep.
Eat this marijuana gummy.
Here's some NyQuil.
Right.
Trazodone.
Right. So at the end of the week, we got the popcorn festival coming up. I don't know if we're going to be able to get. There's a lot of stuff that we're trying to do. So we might pop.
I'll probably take a pop down there, walk down there. Because I want to try some of the Carney games. Win you a Stuffy.
God.
Win Louis a Stuffy.
So So he can tear it up because he's ungrateful.
Yeah. Last week I bought him. So if anybody's seen these new dog toys, they're like the dual stuffies where you can take it and stuff it inside another stuffy. Yeah. It was a popcorn bucket. This dude had it gone within 24 hours. The bucket was, I think, an hour when he's like, I'm going to destroy and rip holes in it.
Yes.
And then the little popcorn balls, those lasted like a day.
Yeah. He's the worst. So.
It's hard rubber for this guy.
And then, of course, we have the Columbus Oktoberfest is also the same weekend as the Popcorn Festival. So, yeah.
Probably do a combo of both.
Maybe Friday we'll go to the Popcorn Festival and Saturday we'll go to Oktoberfest. Who knows?
Yeah.
But both should be fun.
I'm excited for the Oktoberfest to see what kind of beers they offer and the food.
I guess I'm excited too, even though I'm not a big
I wonder if they have any
food.
seltzers.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Ciders.
Maybe a cider.
Ooh, we got the apple cider. So whatever you like.
So we'll obviously see about that and discuss that on the next podcast, so you guys get to hear what we did, what we ate,
how it was,
in
case you're ever interested in going to the Columbus Oktoberfest.
Right.
Or if you're interested in coming to the Marion Popcorn Fest. I know they'll be having some bands.
Yeah, they always have bands.
So I think Sneaky Pete, Analog Youth,
yes,
the
my fave.
Wolfman.
I don't know who that is.
The tattoo that did Sean's tattoo.
Oh,
his band will
he
be
has
playing.
A band?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So they'll be mainstream or the main.
Yeah, I mean now's a good time for festivals. Fall is my favorite season. So
temperatures start to come down.
Yeah, I can rock leggings
sweaters
and a sweatshirt and be comfortable.
Don't have to shave your legs.
Yeah.
Can let it grow for a little bit and cover it up.
Yep. Don't have to shave it around.
You just shave up
really.
to the ankles. Just shave to the calves.
I don't even do that. My leg hair, I have a lot, but it's not it's thin, so you can't really see it.
Yeah.
So also, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I got my prize, so. So we'll see.
You can braid mine.
That's. It's weird. Sometimes Louis licking it, and I'm like, oh, that's. Does he think? He's like, what happened to this dog, man?
Man, you gotta lick it and groom it, man, or you're gonna lose it.
Right, you're already
lose your
happy,
hair,
man. What's going on?
Mom, why is he bald?
Right.
Mom, why is he bald?
So,
Dad.
We'll try to, obviously talk to you about cool things that we're doing. Talk.
Yeah, we got the candle coming up, the rock candle.
Yeah, that's not until
December.
But I know, there's the jack-o'-lantern thing that's
Guar.
in Franklin County. I want to go to. If we happen to get out to Lawrence Orchard for their fall festival, I wouldn't mind going to that.
Pumpkin Fest,
Pumpkin Fest, Apple Fest. I'm trying to think, what else have I seen? Obviously, we're going to go to the Lantern Festival.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do that on the 20th, which is my birthday. And then maybe go to... go to the Ohio State game that Saturday. Hopefully it's a noon game or a 1 o'clock game. It's Marshall, but you never know. I don't understand these times sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did you have anything to add, Clayton?
Nothing really to add today. So.
Okay, well, that is Corner of Bexley.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your holiday. You can listen to us on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. And you can follow our Instagram page, which is at corner_of_Bexley. And we also have an X page formerly known as Twitter. And that is corner_of_Bex. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful week.
Enjoy the week.
Catch you next week.
Enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Have a good day.
Peace.